you for joining us on this very special episode of Kitchen Spoons and Combat Boots. Today we're doing our cookies episode. We're going to make some no-bake cookies today, and we have Susan Demers with us. She is the Transition Assistance Advisor, but more importantly for this episode, she is a military spouse. So her and I are just going to have a little discussion about what it's like when our spouses are deployed and things that we find work for us. I do want to add a caveat that we absolutely know that every deployment is different for everybody. So what may work for us might not work for you. This is just our takes on a few things and our experiences. Every single person's experience is different, and every single deployment is different. Susan, is there anything you'd like to add?
You're right, every deployment's different. I have only been through one, so I can only speak on one. I know that there's other spouses that have been through multiple. But yeah, what works for us may not necessarily work for you, and that's okay. That's perfectly okay.
Absolutely. And just to touch again on like every deployment being different, it's not just different people have different experiences, it's different points in time you may have a different experience. That's based on life events, just experience with deployments, age, all of that, birth of children in general. Like I had surgery last summer, so my husband's first deployment wasn't as hard for me, but his next deployment, I already feel the anxiety for it just because we've had that life event happen. So there's so much that can change things. So just keep that in mind. There is no wrong way to experience a deployment. All right, so we have our handy dandy recipe, which I will make sure that the recipe itself is posted for anyone who wants to copy this. Most of what we're doing is going to be on the stove since it's no-bake cookies. So we are going to start by, I'm going to have Susan be my Vanna White, or maybe I'll be her Vanna White. We'll share the responsibility of Vanna White. But if Susan could put 2 cups sugar in the pot, that would be amazing.
I definitely can do that.
So while you're doing that, Susan,
yeah,
for you, what was the hardest thing for you while your husband was deployed? Like, what did you struggle with the most?
The one thing I struggled with was definitely my kids' schedules. Luckily for me, I had a fantastic employer. I was not the transition assistance advisor at the time. I worked at a hospital. And she wanted to make sure that my work was not stressful for me and not an additional stress that I needed.
Yeah.
So I was able to rework my schedule, which was super helpful. And as long as, especially with spouses that are working outside the home, if they have that conversation with their employer ahead of time, like, hey, my spouse is on deployment, I have kids that are involved in sports, like all 3 of my kids are involved in sports, and trying to juggle their school schedule because they went to 2 different schools and 2 different start times. They had, all 3 of them played basketball, soccer, different locations. So I did utilize other parents to help with transportation when I literally had no other choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, just have that open conversation with your employer and be like, hey, this is what's going on. I am gonna need some help. Yeah. And for me to say that is hard because I do not ask for help very often, and I will be the first one to admit it. I don't, and that's really what I struggled with. And I did learn to ask for help later on because it takes a village.
Yeah,
it really does, and you need to find your village.
No, absolutely. So I'm also someone who is not good at asking for help. And I very much suggest it to everybody else. So I am kind of a deployment spouse hypocrite in that way, because I tell everyone to reach out to me, let me know if they need anything, but I am terrible about reaching out for help. So I'm trying to be better about that because I know that it does make it easier. Like Susan just offered to help me organize my pantry during the deployment. So see, I'm already making gains. All right, so before we get into any more questions, conversation, we are going to add a half cup milk to the pot.
Okay, let me get the half a cup.
Oh, we're so good at this. Let's.
It's a two-person job.
It really is.
But it really isn't.
No, it really isn't, but you know,
It can be.
power in pairs. Can we make that a new saying?
I guess.
That's going to be the snow-baked cookie slogan
So we need a quarter cup.
of cocoa.
Oh, hang on. Do we add this all together?
You add all that together.
Okay.
So we haven't even turned the stove on yet, just
never
in case
made these
anyone's
before.
alarmed that we're not paying attention.
Oh, wait, sorry. I got milk on the.
I'll wash it. It's okay.
Cocoa powder.
Messes happen when you cook.
Yep, messes happen in life.
Yep. So this is not even just deployment related question. This is an in general question. What is one thing around your house that you just are like, it is what it is? You don't worry about making sure it's always clean. It's like it's like my 3-season room where I'm just like, it'll stay there until I'm ready to deal with it.
When my husband's home and not deployed, or just in general?
In general.
Oh boy.
But if it's different,
It is different.
okay, then give us both.
So, like if I know no one's coming over to my house,
Yeah.
I don't care. I try to keep things picked up. If the laundry room table is overflowing with clean laundry that just happened to not be folded yet, I shut the laundry room door so I don't see it. But
I support that.
the kids' rooms, I was very adamant on making sure the kids' rooms were always clean. And now they're old enough, they're teenagers. One is actually almost an adult now. And if their bedroom door is shut, I don't see it, it's not there. On deployment, it really took me a while to figure out you have to pick your battles. And I used to do the kids' laundries. Fun fact, when they turn 12, that's when they do their own laundry, because they're 12, they can do it themselves. In my house. It's different in everyone's house. But yeah, so I wanted to make sure that they put their laundry away. And then as time went on, I'm like, you know what? If they don't put their laundry away today, it's not like it's the end of the world. I just have to learn to live with it.
Yeah.
And that took a lot for me to do. Picking your battles. It may seem like it needs to get done right then and there, but honestly, it's still going to be there.
Absolutely. For me, I'm very like OCD about having like the main spaces of the house or even my room clean. But then there's certain things like my stovetop. I'm not going to scrub it all the time. I have 5 teenagers that live in my house. It's not going to stay clean.
I mean, you cook, so it's going to be dirty.
Right.
It just means that you cook.
Right, and I cook, and stuff boils over sometimes, especially when you have a house full of kids or when you're doing a million things.
Worse. Oh yeah, I think I made it worse.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Nobody's perfect, okay?
What do you mean?
We're breaking news. Susan's not perfect. It's time to let the world know.
Sorry, guys.
Amazing, but not perfect.
Sorry.
Okay, so that was our quarter cup cocoa. And now we're gonna put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now, I'm gonna be honest with everybody out there. When a recipe says 1 teaspoon vanilla, it's getting a lot more than 1 teaspoon vanilla.
Fun fact, if you don't have a measuring spoon for a teaspoon, use the cap of the vanilla.
You wanna know what I do?
You just pour it. Measure with your heart.
Yes, that is very much my cooking style. And so that is a good rule for vanilla and garlic.
Exactly. The garlic limit does not exist.
Yes, there is no measuring accoutrement needed for vanilla and garlic.
Just not together.
Just, yeah, don't put those two together. I do not suggest it. You can try. Let us know how it goes if you do.
I don't want to know.
But, yeah, if it goes real bad, just don't tell us. So that's our 1 teaspoon-ish of vanilla. And then you take a stick of butter and you just pop it right in there.
See, she has the butter.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Okay, throw that over there. And then, so what you're gonna do next, once you have all those ingredients in the pot, is you're gonna bring it to a boil over medium heat. Now, let's see if my stove starts on the first try since I don't clean the stove top. Whoa, ooh, look, it still works. All right, so since everything's just kind of like plopped in there, you want to stir it up a little bit, especially since you put a lot of sugar in there. But the milk definitely helps. Oh, see, doesn't that just look so good? So now we're gonna let it come to a rolling full boil for about a minute. And ours looks like it's there now. So now we need our trivet. And we're gonna take our pot full of deliciously melty chocolate and butter and sugar. And we are going to get the next few things mixed in. Yes, so this right now is kind of what it looks like. It's nice, and it basically just looks like melted chocolate, a little frothier.
Yep.
And we're going to take our peanut butter and
Half a cup.
I may not be strong enough to open this peanut butter. See, it's important to ask for help. So now I know that while my husband is on the deployment, I just need to call Susan anytime I have peanut butter or a jar that needs to be opened.
Yes, I can open them.
In my defense, I'm still recovering from surgery.
It's okay.
And I'm kind of a weakling anyway. All right, so what I like to do when I'm cooking with peanut butter is I like to take a spoon or a knife, generally a knife because then I don't have to get a knife for this next part I'm going to show you, and just pack it into the cup, not too tightly, but tight enough.
And a spatula?
I
Or
do,
using
but
that
the
in
knife,
place of it?
I'm using the knife in place of it. That way, I don't have to clean as many dishes since we know my children aren't going to wash them correctly.
What?
So just for some backstory, when Susan arrived today, she found me trying to rewash all the dishes that my children put in the dishwasher because it didn't work very well, as you can imagine.
They think the dishwasher is also a garbage disposal, which honestly, my kids think the same thing too.
All right, so then I just use the knife to scrape the peanut butter out and into the pan.
Do we stir the peanut butter in, or do we wait until you put the other stuff in?
Stir it in, it'll help it melt.
Okay.
So as you're stirring the peanut butter, it'll get kind of a marbled effect with the chocolate. Only for a little bit though, until it really
Well, you can really
converges
smell it.
together. Susan doesn't like peanut butter,
Nope.
so this is torture for her. So while you're stirring,
Yeah.
something you really don't like. So what is something that you do for you when your husband is gone?
Well, when he was on deployment, I didn't do anything for me.
And do you think that worked out well?
No. I did. So one of the things that my husband always told me, he's like, you're stronger than you realize. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And he's like, yes, you are. So I realized for me, I was very, very codependent on him. And which I'm still very dependent on him now. I mean, he's my partner, he's my spouse, he's my better half. But I wanted to make sure that I wasn't ever going to be codependent on him again, for me. And it made me stronger. It made me feel like I was as strong as he thought I was, which I am. Now I've learned that self-care for me is different than self-care for someone else. So getting your nails done every couple weeks, getting your eyelashes done every couple weeks.
Getting a new tattoo.
Yeah.
Maybe not every couple weeks.
No, definitely not.
But if that's your thing.
But yeah, like you have to figure out what's good for you. Like if you want to meet up with your girlfriends and have like a wine Wednesday, make sure that you have someone, if you have someone to watch your kids, or get all the moms together and have play dates. If you have young kids, be part of a book club. Do something like that. But you need 100% to make time for yourself. You have to, or you're gonna have a mental breakdown.
Absolutely.
And it's okay to be upset. It's okay to cry. Honestly, it's even okay to be angry during deployment. Just don't let it consume you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was doing that. I was letting it consume me. And yeah, don't let it, because you will have a mental breakdown.
I think it's important to realize that self-care can even happen in the smallest of ways, and you can start routines for yourself that are part of that self-care. Like, for instance, I have started setting a bedtime routine for myself where I use lavender body wash in the shower every night because lavender's relaxing. And
sorry, I'm reaching over you.
You're good. And I do that every night before bed now. And I wash my face, with the apricot face scrub every night before bed.
St. Ives?
Yeah. Not that we're saying you should go out and buy St. Ives.
No.
It's just...
They do not sponsor us.
No, they do not. Nobody sponsors us. But for me, having that routine made me feel a little bit more in control. And even though life is crazy and chaotic right now, even before my husband's out the door for the deployment, it helps me have something where I'm like, I know every night before bed, I'm going to do this thing. And I've noticed that since I've been doing it, I also sleep better. That also might be in part to the lavender and melatonin blanket spray that I use, but whatever works, honestly. So yeah, even the littlest ways, like whatever works for you, whether it's having a certain breakfast every morning or stopping getting yourself a coffee when you go on a certain road, just pick even the smallest thing that you can say, okay, this is for me. It doesn't have to be big. And that is self-care. Yeah, let's see, 3.5 cups of and this part is important. This oatmeal is the quick 1-minute oatmeal.
You don't want the rolled oats?
I mean, I just feel like these are a little bit less
Time consuming?
and aggressive in your mouth, yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't want, never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
These oats have much better mouthfeel. I feel like that's a culinary term, right? Okay.
No. But we'll go with it.
I heard it on Bob's Burgers once. It must be true.
Sure. Here, I'll have you hold that.
Okay.
So 3.5.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay, so as you pour these in here, it's going to get harder and harder to stir because the chocolate is going to start solidifying around these oats.
3.
I'm glad you're counting because I lost count already.
And then we'll do half. I know they say baking is a science, but that looks about half.
Looks good. If we need to add some more, we can.
Yep.
So that's also the important part about baking. Like with this, it's super easy because always go on the side of too little oats, because if you put too many in, you can't really come back from that.
You can always add more. You can't take away.
Exactly. So you'll see not all the oats are covered yet, but as you continue stirring, they will be. And really, this is the hardest part of it. And I say hard.
It's not too bad.
Oh, see, look at that. Miss, I hate peanut butter. This doesn't smell too bad. All right, so it smells like a Reese's peanut butter cup is what it smells like. Mixed with, oatmeal, so it's healthy, right?
Yeah, you get your protein.
So my rule when it comes to cooking is if it's made from scratch, it's healthy. Now, most nutritionists out there would probably disagree with that, but...
And you get your protein.
Details.
It's protein.
Yes. There are healthier versions of this out there that my husband probably wishes that I would make instead, since my eating habits are the bane of his existence. But we're not going to go there. Okay, so the next part of this is I already have to wash this tablecloth anyway, so you want to move that
Where? Where do you want the
over here.
trivet to go?
over here? You didn't want to do the snap?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to put out a couple sheets of this.
Oh yeah, you don't need a cookie sheet because you don't bake them.
Right, they're literally called no-bake cookies.
I'm like, wait, no, I have to put a cookie. All right, never mind. You can tell how often I make these, 0.
Yeah, because she loves peanut butter.
Yep.
Okay, so do you want to bring a spoonful over and I will scoop it off?
Sure. Like that?
Yeah, sure. So the great thing about these two is you can make them as little or as big as you want. And there's usually little pieces that end up on the sides after. I just eat those. I consider it my reward for making the cookies in the first place. These are huge.
Okay, I'll make them smaller. Sorry.
Sometimes I honestly just take 2 of these big tablespoons like this, and I use those because it's easier to judge the sizing, but we're not particular.
Can you tell?
I mean, having a size difference is good too. So the reason that I picked these cookies to make today on this episode is because there's been several times in the past that I have made cookies in bulk for my husband's unit or my unit or just for SFRG functions. And these are super easy to double, triple, quadruple the recipe and make in bulk. They're easy, they're not super time consuming, and when you get them to this point, you literally just leave them alone and they harden. Oops. And then you're good to go. As I'm telling you how easy they are, this one says, whoops. I swear it's easier than she makes it look.
Not perfect, y'all. Not perfect. I will, one of the things, do you guys still do FRGs?
So the FRG program has changed a little bit in multiple ways. For one, the FRG program is now the SFRG program because they've decided that they also realize that soldier care is as important as family care. So they want to make sure that soldiers and families are included in that readiness group title. The other change is that civilian SFRG volunteers are no longer a requirement. It's highly suggested though. So for deploying units, if there is a volunteer who really wants to be involved and help, please get in touch with me because right now, as the state SFRG, I try to help out everybody as much as I can, and it would definitely be great to have have some help on the unit side, even for just simple little things, and not even just with the unit in general, but for the Vermont National Guard, so many of us live spread out. People come from Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, even farther than that, to drill here in Vermont, which is amazing, but it also means that sometimes we have deployed soldiers whose families don't live close to our center of influence. So anybody that we can, have help us, even in those like outside spheres. You might say, well, I live in Massachusetts. What can I do for the Vermont National Guard SFRG group? There's a chance that you live close to other members in that unit, and then you could be our Massachusetts, support point. But again, it's not a requirement. People can help as much or as little as they want. Sometimes it's as simple as saying, hey, like I know this family lives down the road for me. If they need anything, I've got it. Okay, cool. But yeah, so we do still have the SFRG groups. The program has just changed a little bit more now so that it truly is more voluntary, unless I need a name on the paper, I guess I'll pick you. Not saying it happened for every unit, but there's a lot of pressure to pick them before. But
Yep, I was the FRG for my husband's unit when he deployed, and the check-in calls. And I started with like maybe more than a handful of volunteers, but there were quite a few of us that were new, and it was our first deployment.
Right.
So we really didn't know what to do, so we would do our check-in calls, and then the volunteers started dwindling down, and so then I think it was just me and maybe two others.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because when I made one of my calls, and it was to a mom, not a spouse, and she's like, I know that you check in with all of us and ask us how we're doing, but has anyone ever asked you how you're doing?
Did you cry immediately?
Yep, I lost it. Just ugly crying, everything. Because it's true, like when you have people checking in on you that are also going through deployment, you have to make sure that you're checking in with each other, that you're all taking care of each other. Because there's not a lot of military spouses, and not a lot of people understand it.
Right.
There's jobs out there that they don't call their spouses away for almost a year.
Right.
So this is very niche.
Right, exactly.
I guess you could say. But there's resources out there that are there to help. Like, I know if anyone has any questions, especially if they haven't gone through a deployment before, they can always reach out to me. And I have no problem assisting, or even just being an ear.
Right.
Like if you just need someone to talk to, or just vent because you don't know how you're feeling, if this is normal, whatever, by no means am I a mental health professional, because I am not. But sometimes you just need someone to listen to you and just vent. And sometimes you just need to cry on the phone.
Right, and I found, for me personally, this may not be the case for everybody, but sometimes it's hard to vent to people who don't truly understand the military lifestyle. Because I have civilian friends and they listen to me and they're supportive, but they don't understand all the nuances that come with being part of a military family. So it's harder for them to understand. And sometimes it's not that you need someone to give you a resource or an answer.
Right.
It's just that you need to release some steam. So,
yeah, and I will say people that don't understand it tend to say things that are not helpful.
yes.
Like, you knew what he was signing up for.
Yep. Or it's only this long.
Yeah, that doesn't actually sit very well.
No. And it all comes from a good place.
It does. I know, the amount of time that they're gone, sure, it is less time than what previous deployments are. but it's still that amount of time away from your spouse, from their kids, from family, from friends.
Right.
And not only is the spouse that's home taking care of the house and the family, but they're also trying to figure out how to take care of themselves.
Right.
And I will say my husband actually made a good point. He said, it's easy for us to go on deployment. Mm-hmm. It's easy because we only have to worry about our mission.
Exactly.
You are at home worrying about everything else.
Yep.
So it's going to be easy for them. It's hard for us back here.
Oh, 1,000%. You know, and so when we were talking earlier, before we started all this, you know, we were talking about the fact how, you know, especially like with the not helping, asking for help piece.
Yeah.
Like, you know, our spouses, you know, they're off serving our country and, you know, they're brave and strong and we don't want to be seen as less than that.
Right.
By showing that maybe we need help. So I think it's really important, you know, I've certainly been trying to take it within myself, you know, I know you have as well, that we realize that, especially in the military, it is a team effort.
Yes.
You know, so we're trying to display that bravery and like you know, we're strong, but we're individuals. And our spouses who are deployed, they're part of a unit. Mm-hmm. So back here, we need to make sure that we have our unit that we're a part of and that, you know, we will make sure that everybody's doing well and that everybody makes it out without losing their minds.
Yep.
Well,
Absolutely.
here are no bake cookies. They're not completely set yet, but like you can pick it up and
I made them kind of big. You know what? Go big or go home.
I support it. So once you get them to this point, once they're solidified, they're not like crumbling apart, you can go ahead and pop them in a container and then share them with your friends, family, loved ones, or your favorite group of soldiers. Any parting words, Susan?
No.
All right, so following that, Jim.
Sorry.
I just want to thank you all for joining us today on our special kitchen edition. This will probably be a recurring theme for us. It gets us out of the office and doing something a little bit different and a little bit fun and a little bit more raw. Thank you for joining us on Kitchen Spoons and Combat Boots, and please tune in next month.
Bye.
For more information or support, please reach out to the Vermont Military Family Support Center's toll-free number, 888-607-8773. The preceding content does not constitute endorsement by the Department of the U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force, Vermont National Guard, or Vermont Military Family Programs of the organization's products and services contained therein. Further, the Vermont Military Family Programs assumes no responsibility for the consequences of using the products or services provided by the organizations or resources listed. Vermont Military Family Programs makes every effort to present our clients with reputable resources. We cannot guarantee the validity of said resources, and the use of such resources is voluntary.